kind of just ignore it, or kind of just put it at the back of our minds.
You go to like neutral places, don't you, where you're both on a common ground.
Because it's kind of the reality of how different we are and our backgrounds and stuff is not something that's in keeping with our friendship. You know, our friendship is more based on our friendship, not you know.
But none of us say anything about our home lives or what worries us, or you know, I would never say to the two boys about my dad, you know, and you'd never say anything to Maliki about your family life.
Yeah, and then when finally, like in the film, when finally those things have to be faced by our characters, like, you know, like my character with Smiley and Chris and stuff, when that family life has to be faced, it's just, you know, it's a bit of a breakdown. It's very emotional and stuff. And it's the same with Michelle's character.
She has a relationship with Crilly, who is Michelle's father, and Michelle obviously doesn't know about it. That's all a big secret, and you know, in the film obviously Maliki finds out, and she suspects that Maliki and Luke know, so she's very on edge with them all the time, you know, in case they tell Michelle, and she can see Michelle getting closer and closer to them.
I think that I've got both of their home lives, sort of. I've got all the nice house and the material things like Maliki has, but then I have like the lack of authority figure like Luke has, so I can sort of pretty much relate to both of them, whereas they can't really relate to each other with their home lives.
She sort of turns their lives upside down and brings their friendship into question, and between them, the three of them have a series of increasingly wild adventures as the two boys compete for the one girl.
With my background in design, there was an element of text messaging which was in the script, and that sort of allowed us then to bring in the text animation or the typography. So we're always really interested in visual layering. So it's you know, starting with the colour and then the typography. And there's a lot of other sort of iconography that's layered in there. There's a lot of water themes, and we have a lot of texture and layering. We like to work with that.
Tonight, in the script, some boys have, the main characters have taken a cab which belongs to one of their fathers, and they're going for a joyride in it. At one point they pull into a car park, have a squabble over who's going to drive the car, start fighting over the wheel, and at one point pull the wheel and it skids, turns and smashes into a parked vehicle. Obviously, you know, apart from the fact that you've got to do all the interiors with the actors, which obviously we sometimes do on an A-frame, or you can do it green screen, and on this occasion we've done it green screen. We just prep the vehicle with special harnesses and basically crash it. That's about it for something like this. If you're crashing a vehicle into something more solid, then you'd put a cage into the vehicle, or and make sure that the petrol tank's put to the rear of the vehicle and a smaller tank put in. But on this occasion, because we're crashing it into a vehicle that's not obstructed by anything, the vehicle should shift a bit, so we're happy to do it with just harnesses on. Donald's going to actually be driving the car. Obviously, some things are a little bit too dangerous for the actors to do themselves. It's not that they haven't got the skill to do it, it's just that there's no point in risking it. So tonight Donald will be driving the car into the Barbos, so when you see it crash, Donald's going to be doing it.
The pleasure is all mine.
And looking beautiful.
Looking forward to it, and obviously looking good. Well, I've got a car to crash now, so fuck off.
Action! Action!
And everything's been fun until then. Everything's been like sort of flirtatious and just a game, and then suddenly it goes to a darker place, I think.
I think that's an interesting thing about Maliki's characters, because before this, the dynamic between Luke and Maliki, that Luke was always the maddest one, the madder one, and the one willing to kind of go that extra mile to get the girl.
Yeah.
You know? But now Maliki, I suppose, has seen something different in this girl and is challenging Luke, and that's what upsets the dynamic.
The boys that she's probably gone for in the past have all been like Luke, and then I think Maliki throws something different up, and I think he does something to her, and also, you know, Malachi's just better looking. Is that?
But I've got the androgyny thing going on. Come on.
Me and Rob had to do this sort of big fight scene and sort of wrestle each other into the pool, and yeah, it got quite because we're actually properly sort of fighting. I sort of scratched him quite a bit at the back, and it was yeah, we did get pretty violent. So it was and plus we did so many takes as well. In and out of the pool, it got quite cold. And, yeah, it was a really sort of hard day's work. Really, sort of probably the hardest I've ever done. Really, in my whole like, even all the Harry Potter films. So it's been a really good experience.
And I think they all did a brilliant job with the accents. Obviously, they're all Robbie's from Dublin and Kim's from Wales and Rupert's from England. But they all worked really, really hard on that. And they had a very good coach, Brendan Gunn, who's one of the best in the world. He came in, but they didn't have a huge amount of time with him. But it's a really a credit to them that they worked so hard in getting them so good.
Yeah, the accent is going alright. I was a bit worried about it because it is quite a strange sound. But yeah, I'm slowly getting into it.
Everybody knows what Rupert's voice sounds like, obviously, and then for him to sort of come on screen and do this, you know, sort of quite deep Belfast, and Luke, who's, you know, Robbie, who's naturally Southern Irish, to do this note, he completely changes his whole, you know, his whole body shape and the way he walks.
We were given these, we've got this dialect coach, Brendan Gunn, who made the CD, and he sort of put all our lines into it, so we're sort of always sort of listening to that on my iPod and sort of trying to sort of hammer it in. But yeah, no, so far it's been okay, yeah.
It's a great place. It's a kind of a new city and an old city all in one.
I didn't really know what to expect, you know, and I didn't know what to expect in the difference between Southern Ireland and Northern Ireland. But it's been so lovely here. Everyone's been so really, you know, really friendly people. Not just on the crew, but you know, just generally when you pop into a shop or something. So I really like it here. I was thinking about it today. I really like Belfast.
Well, the cast were just brilliant as well. You know, they were such good fun. The atmosphere on set was fantastic, and everyone just had a really good time. But they were all hugely professional in the way that they did their jobs. But I just think that atmosphere of everyone getting along. I mean, I think that really translates into the world of the film and the performances.
Yeah.
I think what we were really pleased with in the performances was how much you really get that dynamic between the three leads and how it feels like they know each other, and how that friendship feels like, certainly the friendship between the two boys feels like it has got a history and a past, and that they know each other well.
But Belfast seems to be finding itself, and you know, we've been finding Belfast literally. It's going around all the pubs and stuff, so it's been great. It's been great fun.
It's nice to see people not afraid to come out with ideas and go, let's do this film, let's do this, it'll be great, you know. So I think it's really nice that people in Belfast have something to be proud of.
It's all goths and rockers and mods. I'm telling you, Belfast is a melting pot, and it's a good way. It's a good way of kind of coining the new Belfast in a way. That's what another thing this film will do: show Belfast in more of a modern light.
It was a really joyous experience that I think we'll always look back on and feel really proud of. Obviously, it's our first feature, so we learned a huge amount along the way.
But we were surrounded by so many great people, so many great members of the crew and producers who had so much experience. So we had a lot of really great people around us, which helped us.
Everyone, that's a wrap.
In the dawn
clouds thin, melt away. She brings the rain. Oh yeah, she brings the rain. She brings the rain. She feels like spring. Magic mushroom.
Sorry,
Sorry, carry on. Oh yeah, what was it?
Yeah, what was the question?
Oh, we're never gonna get a job again.
No, we're not. Nobody watched the special features. Like, it's not necessary. Don't watch this. Turn it off.
Bring the rain.